Hello, hello! Papa Boris here one more time doing a draft. This time I'm all by myself. Alright, let's take a look at what we have in the opening packs. Finally, something that's not horrible. Call to the Grave. This is bad, right? Yeah, this is bad. Okay, that's bad. So, key cards here seem to be this Gravedigger, the Lawkeeper, for some good tapping. The Divination's not bad, and Chandra's Outrage, the removal. So, following the old rule of thumb about removal over random things, I'll take the Chandra's Outrage. And I'm feeling a lot much better about these double mana costs. Honestly, if you're just going to play two colors anyway, having double mana costs isn't the end of the world. Anything else to be watchful of? Honestly, I'm pretty sure these three cards are all going to go, but Divination does seem to get underdrafted sometimes, so if that sticks around, I'll go blue. If the Gravedigger sticks around, by some kind of miracle, I'll go black, but probably this pack's going to be crap when it comes back. Alright, Chandra's Outrage it is. Okay. What is there to do here? Well, I love these Griffin Riders, but I'm not going to take it. That's a second pick. This is not a bad black creature, not a bad black creature. The rare is missing, so there's no signal from this pack. This thing's green. Still not a fan of it, because it doesn't need to come down early in addition to being double mana, and Titanic Growth's a cool trick. But I like this Fire Slinger. You know, it doesn't seem that impressive, but it is a 1/1 for 1, and it's got, 1 damage to target player, so it turns on all your bloodthirsts, and it gets you down for some early aggression. So I'll stick in red, cut it off completely, and hope to get some nice red cards in pack 2. Was there more red coming down? Not so much. So this guy is okay, but not amazing. This thing's always looked really cool. Protection from creatures. I mean, that does make your thing unblockable and deadly. This is not a bad white creature. Certainly wouldn't be mind taking. So I can go red-white with these. I can take this Ring Flesh. This has been actually better than I expected. It's a combat trick, and it does kill a lot of 1 toughness things. There's a lot of significant 1 toughness stuff in this format, like that Tapper I just passed. My Fire Slinger's a 1/1. There's a lot of flying creatures that are 1/1s. Of all the stuff here, maybe this is an error. I'm going to go for this Ring Flesh. I think it's the clearest signal if there is one. And there was more black going around that might come back to me than white or red. So let's grab this Ring Flesh. Okay, so this Tunneler is a good combo piece, but the Gravedigger is stronger overall. I think it's stronger than this Spider or this Companion, and certainly than this Harbor Serpent or these frickin' Bank Chuckers. So it's time for another Gravedigger. Looks like red-black is going to be the way to go here. Hey, John. Alright, what do we have in this pack? Oh dear, so there's nothing good in this pack for me. So I could take this Giant, which is not super great. The Rhino is really better. The Veteran's still going around. It's a good creature, and there's no black stuff. This is pretty mighty, I suppose, but honestly, it's risky in black playing with that enchantment, especially because it does cost you the life. So I can stick with this mediocre red creature. I have to really decide, how strong of a signal is it that this Trampler is here, the Unsummon, and the Veteran? I would be willing to give up black for white in a heartbeat if more white were forthcoming. So I'm going to take this Veteran. This Giant, I'm not excited to play a 5-costing thing in red. I'm willing to throw it away for the chance that maybe white is actually still open. Okay, well, it's not open here. There is Frost Breath, which Dan loves. I guess I could take that if I end up going blue. These are not amazing white creatures. So I could take this terrible removal, or I could take this early aggressive guy, try to go for an aggressive deck. I think I'm going to go for the Piker here, try to build up into red and black. None of these are great continuations into white, and this Frost Breath, Dan loves it, but I'm not going to go into blue over a Frost Breath. I don't think it's a strong enough signal either. Okay, here we have another Veteran. This Rhino, I could play those all day. So green, I don't know, is green open? I don't know. Definitely this black and red stuff's just totally dried up. These could have just been bad packs. Alright, well I'm going to take this Veteran. This leaves me kind of open. I still am hoping to go into red, but I have a choice between black or white. And in the worst case scenario, I could give up my red. Hopefully that won't happen though. Well, holy crap nuts. So now white, I guess I am glad I kept myself open for it, because it looks like that might need to be my color. So I got a choice between the flyer for 4 mana, or, try the aggression card. Oh, I think that's what's got to be the decision here. Go for the early aggression and go for super aggressive deck or the flyer. I mean, the flyer's stronger overall for sure, but I've never actually tried going super aggressive with vanguards like this. I think the safer play is to go after the flyer. It's just a stronger card, and I don't want to have to count on getting the vanguard turn 1 for it to be any good. So red, white, eh? Here there's just nothing. This is kind of counter removal, but I just can't see myself playing it. Lava Axis and Tectonic Rift are not so good. I guess I could try this if I'm going aggressive, kill off my opponent's lands and swing through for damage. Maybe I'll try it. I might be desperate. Divination's not strong enough to hate draft, and these things are in the same pack, so the milling strategy is not coming together. Yeah, I'll just take this Tectonic Rift. I might be desperate for playables. I am getting less than I would like to. Dang. This Titanic Growth is still here. Well, I'm happy to hate draft that. Not green, though. I'm wondering if this was just like a really weak set of packs in general. And if that's the reason why there was just crap. So let's hide the black. It looks like I am in white. And my curve's a little heavy on the forehand at the moment, but if I can get some more 1s, 2s, and 3s to fill out things out, it'll be good. So lots of good red cards I would hope to pick up. The Tunneler, the Arsonist, some Shocks would be nice. Oh, this Veteran made it all the way around. Well, this was a veteran. Do you play 3 veterans? I guess you might. I mean, they are very aggressive. Now kind of wish when I'm getting so much white that I had taken the Vanguard. Yeah, maybe there will be another one for me to pick up later. Wonder why no one's taken these guys. I mean, it's solid. Sure, it's a 2/2 for 3 mana when on the defense, but on offense, it's like a hill giant. I don't know. Seems pretty sweet to me. And oddly, I have only actually 1 removal card, really, this Outrage. So, definitely need some more of that, if I can get it. 1 player disconnected. I wonder what effect that has on things. And here we are, just kind of lagging out for a bit. Do. Ah, here we go. Oh my god. Is there any way that this makes sense? I mean, if you put an enchantment on it. No, I'm not doing it. I'm just, whatever, gonna take this and hide it. I might play this combat trick. Dan seemed to be fond of it, and I do run the gamut of white creatures here. I mean, I guess in theory I can see it being a blowout, but I think you'd have to be leaning heavily towards white for this to become super good. All things considered, I'd rather pay 1 less mana and just play Mighty Leap. Although Dan did mention that Mighty Leap is not such a great card, so I believe it, but I think it's still better than Guardian's Pledge. Alright, I got some slowness coming around. Reclaim, hide, and then a land, which I'll have to hide. I have a history in the past couple of drafts of opening crap in Pack 2. Let's see if that trend continues in this draft. Will there be a good red or white card? A Pacifism would not be amiss. Shock or Incinerate would be pretty sweet. Well, let's see. I think we're going like the maximum time because someone's disconnected, so they're still getting cards. They're just not. One gets picked for them randomly, I suppose. Oh my god, there's so much white here. So I want this Pegasus, the Angel, of course. What is this thing? Another target permanent is indestructible as long as you control Aegis Angel. Now the question is this better or worse than the Sarah Angel or the Oblivion Ring? Mana frickin' live. Well, Dang. That's just too, yeah. Got too much good stuff in one pack. I'd really wouldn't mind even just taking this whole pack and passing the rest of the draft. So, how much does that ability justify the extra mana and the lack of vigilance versus the Oblivion Ring, which can take out anything in the format? Boy, this is something I'd be curious for people's insight on. What is better, the removal that I do need and that can take out absolutely anything, or this, big, huge 5-for-5 flyer that makes something else indestructible? Or is it the Sarah Angel, which comes down a turn earlier and fights and defends? My god. Well, I'll take the rare. I hope for the best. Alright, so Doomblade number 2 coming on by. Here, two important creatures. There's this Pegasus which flies, and the Berserker which has Bloodthirst and is hard to block. I think actually this thing is a better creature, the Berserker. All things considered, it has the opportunity to be bigger, and it can be just as unblockable as the Pegasus. So sad as it is, I'm passing a lot of white to my right here. But yeah, I don't see what else I can do. I really do think this is a better card. So let's take the Berserker. My god, this is Doomblade number 3, for crying out loud. Yeah, lots of good black stuff here, lots of good blue stuff, but I don't mind taking another Berserker. I like him better than the Hellhound. I don't have the Tunneler, so I don't have the Hellhound combo. So I'll take another Berserker. Kind of wish I had now the Pegasus for variety, but that's okay. Jesus, so much black. And all that white in the same pack. Man, couldn't have been just a little more split up. I don't know. This six cost is inhibitive. I wonder how much in this match I'm going to have 5 mana and regret that I can't play that thing. Or that I'm going to regret not having an Oblivion Ring. So of course the white creature here is a Griffin Rider, which I'm just done trying to live that dream. If there's anything else good to take, I will. So Mind Rot, Thirst. Someone's going to get like 15 billion black removal spells. I'll take another Fire Slinger. It's another 1-drop. Why not? And I do actually really want to turn on the Bloodthirst now that I have 2 Berserkers. So having 2 extra 1-drops just makes me feel that much more solid about the deck. Alright, do I go for 3 Fire Slingers? Do I go for this Vanguard? Well... so the Vanguard definitely makes the Pledge better. And I do want to be tilting somewhat towards white so that these 2 planes are more likely to come online. But the Arbalest is a stronger creature because it's defensive. It can still attack into certain things, but it's nice to have some kind of quasi-removal. So I'm going to go for the Arsonist. I think it's just more flexible than the Vanguard. Alright, Incinerate. 2 Incinerates coming down ridiculously late. This means like, wait, hold on. 10 cards in this deck. So 5 were taken. Let's just say like there was 1 red bomb or something. So that's like 4 people who aren't in red. And someone's getting like a 5th, 6-pack Incinerate. Of course I'm going to take the foil one. It's a strong pack too. A lot of these things are fine. So yeah, happy to get the removal though. Okay, so I have this Vandal I could take for artifact killing. Don't think my deck really wants the Manolith. And this Scepter of Empires, I mean, maybe. Oh, this is the one that deals damage, not the one that taps. So, let's see. This also turns on Bloodthirst. But, let's see, 11 creatures. I'm going to gamble I'm going to get enough creatures. The question is, is this something I can really see myself playing? Can I go for, like, the Fire Slinging strategy here? No, I'm going to go for the Vandal. It can chump block, it deals more damage on the offensive, and who knows, I might need to kill an artifact. So let's take the Vandal. It is a warm body in my deck. Man, 2 Incinerates in 1 pack. That's incredible. So I'm still a little low on playables, a little bit low on creatures. Oh man, was the Sarah Angel better than this thing? Just for its ability to attack and block? Gosh, I don't know. I mean, this can swing into just about... This will stop a Phantasmal Dragon, even. Who knows? Who knows? Alright, now we slow down, because the disconnected guy is going to go to... Alright, so this is bad. This is a really good one. This is good sideboard. This is defensive. I don't really... Oh gosh. Should I just play this Goblin Warpaint? I mean, I definitely don't want to do Reverberate. Or could I? I've seen someone use this. It's kind of nifty, I guess. Someone uses removal against you, you can use removal against them. So do I want that questionable card, or do I want this questionable enchantment? With all those Doomblades going around, I don't want enchantments. So let's try this. Alright, this I'm happy to have. So it's another early drop. I do want those. I want to make things hasty, and this also pops Ice Cages. This is kind of expensive for my deck. Without, I think Dan makes the point that this 2/4 flyer isn't bad, but in the deck that I played last time, we had these looters and card draw to get out of mana issues, so we were never really stuck for land. Here, when it's white-red and you're just doing straight draws, I just want things I know I'll be able to play. So let's put that Crimson Mage in there. Alright, this deck is ending up very low on the mana curve, so it's going to be aggression or bust here. Pretty much anything big is going to be problematic for me, especially since I'm lacking for big removal. Chandra's Outrage is as big as I get. I didn't get that Oblivion Ring. Okay, well this is crap. This is bad. I'm not going to play that. This is... I don't want enchantments with all the Doomblades around and stuff. Could just hate draft the Giant Spider from people. This is... oh yeah, I want someone to play that against me. That would be just fine. Yeah, let's hate draft the Spider. It's not a bad green card to be going around late. So I'm not really getting any lucky late picks in this draft. That is for sure. But at least I'm doing decent on the creature count, and my playables are lower than where I'd like them to be after Pack 2, but at least I will have, hopefully, 23 cards I can play. Some things, though, would be nice to upgrade out. Like this Tectonic Rift, I don't want. The Guardian's Pledge, I don't want. The Vandal, I don't want. And the Piker, I don't want. So really, if we're taking away things I don't want, we're down to 14 playables, so we'd be looking at like 9 playable cards in Pack 3. It's not really likely I'm going to be able to make all those upgrades. So right away I can tell that there's going to be something somewhat questionable in this deck. That's the Guardian's Pledge I think I'd have to take out, because, I mean, I just don't have enough white creatures. It was all red in this pack. So that's probably going out. And then the other thing I want to take out is the Tectonic Rift. Alright, well these are, Jesus, so many, this is, every single one of these cards is solid. How is that happening? Well, I get a creature. So if I pick up a Tunneler in Pack 3, I can do the combo. And all things considered, it is better than the Vandal, so that's nice to know. Yeah, I think I'll try this Reverberate. It can be kind of neat. In the late game, I'm likely to have mana open since all my stuff is so cheap. So I don't mind that it's double red. Alright, Griffin Rider. I have one Griffin. Really hope I don't have to do this, but I might need to try to live the dream. Man, I do like having these 2 Fire Slingers. Be nice to have some more Bloodthirst, like that 2/2 First Strike Bloodthirst guy, and the 4 mana costing guy that's a 5/5. Like, those are things I really need here for all this stuff to come together. Flame, I might play. It's good I realize it's good in response to someone killing your creature. Like, if it's going to die anyway, then it becomes worthwhile. But otherwise, I still feel kind of questionable playing it. Also saw someone use a Fiery Hellhound once against me. It was actually in one of my videos. They pumped it up and then flung it for tons of damage. So this deck, it really feels like there's a lot of missing pieces before it comes together. It needs more Bloodthirst, needs more removal, and it just, in some cases, just needs better cards. Yeah, maybe I should have just said to hell with those angels and played the Oblivion Ring. Let someone else play with the big things, and hope I can kill them before the big things come online. Flights. Go away. This person's not coming back, so someone's going to get a bye in every round, which is cool. Which means, actually, that even if I lose my first 2 matches in my last match, I'm guaranteed to get a bye and win a pack. Well, that's kind of nice, and that's another nice thing about the Swiss. If someone disconnects in Swiss, you are guaranteed to get a pack no matter how incompetently you play. I really hope I can win one of my matches. That seems like it should be doable. Alright, disconnected dude, take your land. Come on. Alright, so for pack 3, what are my priorities? Bloodthirst, removal, and that's about it. This is not bad. Veteran number 4. There's a dragon, good thing to keep in mind, and here's some quasi-removal in artifact form. Let's see. So the Outrage is definitely fine. I think I'm going to take it. The Lawkeeper, yeah, it's a creature, but I have technically enough creatures, and the Outrage is much more permanent, much more direct removal. Sad to see these good green cards here. But with luck, the Veteran might come around. Apparently just no one's taking those. But yeah, let's take the Outrage. Okay, am I going to play with 3 Chandra's Outrages? I think so. I think it's good enough to play with 3 of them. Especially now I can really feel good about taking out that Rift. So my mana curve is not actually that high. It would just be 4 cards at 4. This Griffin's nice. This Mage is nice. But yeah, not as nice as another Chandra's Outrage. Alright. Man, I get a 3rd chance to pick up an Elite Vanguard. Warpaint, sad to see this overrun here. So if I'm playing this Vanguard, the problem is now I'm definitely going to be skewed heavily towards red, so I'm just going to be that much less likely to be able to play it on turn 1. And honestly, that extra power, I mean, the Goblin Arsonist can block as well as the Vanguard can, because he can die and then ping the thing that hit it. So it's just as good as defense on the Vanguard. It's just a little bit less better on offense, but I would rather have it just for consistency, to be more likely to be able to play it on turn 1. If all my 1-drops are red, I can feel really good about skewing the deck towards red mana. And knowing that, you know, even though this is expensive and has 2 double white, it can come on later in the game, so I have more time to draw for those other planes. Alright, this is ending up quite the aggressive deck with 4 1-drops, but these are solid 1-drops. Like, this is 1 damage a turn, and this is, you know, nice. If the opponent has any significant 1-toughness creatures, this thing can stave off whole armies. Okay, what's happening here? So this is terrible red combat trick, and this is a terrible flyer. Now that would up my Griffin count to 2, so I could try to make this Griffin Rider work. I'm okay throwing away a Piker. I feel like I have enough things to put down on turn 2. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures to put on turn 2, that I'm okay playing this. And if I pick up another Griffin, then I'll have higher chances of making that Griffin Rider worthwhile. Yeah, this Piker is just not quite worth it to not take that dream. Alright, now I can feel good about hiding this Pledge, and I think this Tectonic Rift. Although I can sideboard this in once I'm sure my opponent has no flyers. The problem is, if he does have flyers, then it's really just super expensive land killing. Is land killing good? I mean, I'm going to be playing first with this deck, because it is very aggressive. Man. Okay, I'll make that call later. Next on my cut list is probably this Vandal. Alright, so Armored Warhorse, I'm not going to have enough planes to play it early, so it doesn't really fit the deck. Active Treason's a fine combat trick, though. I kind of like this card. It can help bust things through, and it's nice just to have another thing that targets for killing bears and that Phantasmal Dragon that was going around and so on. So yeah, let's go for it. I do need do need more tricks in this deck. I just don't see myself wanting to play that Warhorse with so few other white creatures. It's a little disconcerting that there's none of those bigger bloodthirst creatures in red coming by. So I have this nice beginning and these two guys who can enable bloodthirst, but nothing to follow it up with. So that's where I see as the big hole in this deck. And I never got a tunneler, so the only unblockable damage I have is from these two fire slingers. And these guys are harder, but not impossible to block. So it's kind of unfortunate. Let's see if I can figure out which other cards I want to get rid of. I just don't feel comfortable playing with Fling, especially since I have the Outrages, so that's easy to throw out. And yeah, depending on what I get, I could just throw out the Griffin Rider and the Sentinel to help out reduce my white cards. That would put me down to 22 playables. So I do need to get another playable card from here, from these remaining picks, in order for that to happen. The other option is to get rid of the Rift and see where I'm at. Okay. So these are all just not quite what I need in my life. So this Griffin Rider, I don't want 2 Riders and 2 Griffins, because I'd rather have 1 Rider and 3 Griffins. This, again, I'm just not likely to be able to play on turn 2. And this guy, I don't know if I want that kind of a 4-drop. He's so defensive. It'd be nice to have a quality creature like the Chasm Drake. Instead of getting this Bonebreaker Giant, maybe I'll play him. I guess I'm really... If I get rid of the Tectonic Rift, I would just have 4 4-drops, 1 5-drop, and a 6-drop. I guess that's not the end of the world. And I don't feel comfortable about these. What is this thing? Well, I could just hate draft that, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to hate draft that. I've got no answers to it. So, hide you. Alright, now I can take this Giant, which is mediocre. Or this. This is a good card for my sideboard. I'm pretty happy to have. Well, do I need that with 4 Outrages and the Incinerate? Do I want this decent sideboard card or this mediocre main deck card? I'm going to take this. I really do just want to get rid of, like, the Tectonic Rift and the Griffin Rider. Oh, hey, that was good. This is exactly what I need in my life. So that's easy. This is terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay, great. So these are actually some solid creatures going by later. The Bear and the Bat. But yep, happy to take that. So now I feel really good about getting rid of the Rift, getting rid of the Rider, and getting rid of the very mediocre Griffin Sentinel. Now I feel like I'm very heavy red, splashing just a bit of white for the Angel and these dudes. Now I really wish at this point, I mean, if I'd seen how it was going to go down, that I had taken the Oblivion Ring, because this is a little bit of an awkward thing to splash for with just a few planes in the deck and it needing 2 of them. Again, I have lots of time to draw those planes, but it's kind of unfortunate how much it requires. Okay, I could hate draft this dragon, though I do have tons of answers to it. So I'm just going to take this other creature. This allows me to get rid of the Vandal, which I do not want. Alright, I can play really bad Lava Axe. I don't want to do that. This might be nice for my sideboard. I don't have any enchantment removal. If whoever took that Oblivion Ring, plays it, I might sideboard this in against them. Alright, more of this. And, oh wow, I guess I am getting an Elite Vanguard. Okay, universe. Okay. So I'm at 24 playables. I could trade one of these veterans for the Vanguard. I could trade the Treason for the Vanguard. What of these is the best? Probably the Disentomb. And I guess I am taking this Warhorse. That's definitely not going in my deck. Okay, so I do have a few choices to make. Not super many, but a few. Alright, see how this is going to go down. So I definitely want all these great red 1-drops. Crimson Mage, the Berserker, the other Berserker, the Incinerate. It's good. I want these Hellhounds. I want all the Outrages. I want the Minotaurs. Alright. Put in this Bomb, the Aegis Angel. I want this Flyer. And my Veterans. Still don't really like this Warhorse. And what am I at? 19 cards. Okay, I have 15 creatures. Do I want to try this Reverberate? I mean, it's kind of finicky. You have to have the mana, and there needs to be a good target, good secondary target. It does not work against Oblivion Ring. Instant or sorcery spell. Let's try it, just, for learning's sake. Now this Vanguard. If I play, for example, 6 plains, 11 mountains, I feel pretty good about my odds of getting red mana early and being able to get 2 mountains in time to play all this stuff. And with 6 plains, yeah, I could play this Vanguard on turn 1. I think I have to go for it. My deck is not super strong, so I need to stretch it just a little bit. Don't want to do the Griffin Rider thing. This is a sideboard card. Don't want to play the Warhorse. And the Sentinel is just weak. So I really would rather put in some red things to fill out. So it looks like what I'm putting in then is the Act of Treason. If the game is really slow and he's got big things, I might sideboard in this giant, again, in place of whatever I'm putting in right now. I could sideboard in the Rift if I'm sure that he doesn't have any flyers. I really don't want to have a 4-mana land killer against a deck that has flyers in it. So it's either the Fling, to try to be able to burn out or counter removal in a profitable fashion, or some mediocre creature. Let's try the Fling. I'm happy taking the Fling out. But interestingly, this Arsonist is a nice thing to fling because provided there's 1 toughness stuff to kill, it does, trade 2 cards for maybe 2 cards. I'll put in the Vandal if I need to come up against artifacts. I'll put in Tectonic Rift maybe in place of like the Fling. If the deck does not have flyers in it, Demystify might go in place of the Fling. If there's enchantments I need to kill, and the Giant might go in if I need to deal with big creatures. So this is not a super strong deck. 13 mountains, 4 plains. Wow. That's pretty ballsy. I kind of would rather have 6 plains. I really feel like you can get 2 mountains when over a quarter of your deck is mountains. You should be able to get 2 of them. I mean, on average, you can expect 2 mountains by the time you've drawn 8 cards, which is just 1 draw into the game. So even if there's a little bit of skew by, 10 or 11 or 12 cards, which is when you really need these spells to come online, you should still be able to count on having 2 mountains. Maybe I'll tweak it down to 1 more mountain, 1 fewer plain, but if I'm going to have the Vanguard in the deck, might as well increase my odds a little bit of playing him on turn 1. Alright, so that's it. Time to submit, and I'll see you shortly with the games.